So I want to discover what that is regardless, even though it won't be that useful to me. And then we want to pop down here, pop in here, loop around, and then head up to Everett. Looks like that's another probably viewpoint there, and probably there as well. And probably there as well. Maybe we just, I think we just drive without a trailer all the way to Bellingham instead of bothering to try and find a delivery to go there. And we'll just go to the services there. And then we can get a delivery from there, maybe. If we could get a delivery up to there would be handy, so that way I can go there without it being out of my way. Cool, let's do some driving. Makes no sense, no way it exists based on scaling, yeah. Yeah, that's right. They need to cram in an awful lot of stuff, unfortunately. But you wouldn't want the scaling to be too different. Like, basically they'd either have to not have certain places, like just not have Tacoma at all, in order to fit more stuff in for Seattle and Olympia. Or they'd have to have the scaling different, but then the distances get way too much for people to be driving around. I'm sure some people would enjoy a more of a 1-to-1 or even like a 1-to-10 scaling or something, and the distances would just be so much larger, but I think most players would find that a bit tiresome.
Right.
I don't know, 1-to-10 would probably be okay, but you'd just get so many areas where you're just driving through so much of nothing. Like, already driving from like the north of California to the south is a bit boring because a lot of it's just on interstates and it's just long, big, straight stretches of not much. So if there was twice as much of that to have to drive through, yeah. I mean, it would be that, or they'd just have to take even more effort to flesh out more towns and cities in between. And that would just be so much more work for so little gain, I think. So, parts like this do suffer where you do miss out on specific things. Drive hammered, get nailed. That was actually on the sign. I love it. That's a great slogan.
Keep right.
It's the same sort of thing over in some parts of Europe Truck Simulator as well. Again, it's a case of trying to cram in so much into a small area that you know, you do miss out on a few things, but
and then keep left.
The essence of a place is usually captured pretty well. I've done a better job on more recent DLCs and fitting more into the area, I think. 1-to-1 scaling is a 24-hour drive from New Mexico to Washington. Yeah, exactly. Whereas my Roswell to Seattle speedrun took, I think, only an hour of continuous real-time driving. And that was an in-game time run, so I wasn't doing service warps or anything like that. So it's a Peterbilt dealer, okay. Oh, I love this piece of music. Ah, it's Giant Circles, yeah, of course, big Giant Circles. They do some really good anthems. Your internet connection keeps dropping, oof, that's a shame.
Turn right.
Yeah, a lot of dodgy internet going on lately. I need to do another Roswell to Seattle run, because I did one just as a real rough demo, basically. It'll be fun to do one on the new, like, latest patch with the better graphics now. The route might also be slightly different now with the new states that have been added, I'm not sure. But I never ended up doing a real-time run, which is where you get to a certain point and you call for emergency services, and it takes a lot of time in-game, but in real time it just warps you forward quite a ways. And I remember I scouted out points that I'd be able to do that, but I never actually followed up with an RTA run. And I don't think anyone else has done one either, so I should really do that.
Turn right. Keep right.
There's just been so many other things to be doing, and I was doing ETS2 speedruns instead more recently, because my Aberdeen to Bratislava run was terrible. I want to do a Istanbul to Aberdeen run of that at some point too, but maybe I should do this one first. They're not as,
Turn right.
not quite as long. New viewpoints.
Keep left, and then turn left.
There's the Kenworth dealer, which is the end of the speedrun. And here's a viewpoint.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Seattle downtown. Well, I'm not really downtown, but it's more the Seattle skyline, I think, is the gist. What a massive interstate interchange. Just spaghetti in front of the skyline. That's a nice flyby though. Never really thought of Seattle as having all the high rises, but it's bigger than I expect. You know those buildings, that's good. Yeah, they try and do a decent job of having some kind of recognizable landmarks when they put in the place. That's a nice shot. There's the Space Needle over there. The reason I defined the speedrun as being Roswell to Seattle instead of being like Moth, because a lot of the points have been like the furthest distance north and south based on DLC releases and stuff. But I thought the idea was that it's a bunch of aliens who crashed in Roswell and their spaceship is actually the top of the Space Needle. Kind of like in Men in Black, how it's the top of some landmark is actually the UFO. That seemed like a fun idea.
Keep right.
Because there's just so many cities that you can race from and to that you kind of got to have a good reason for it. A little bit of story behind it.
Turn right.
Great city though, visited a few times, really liked it. Yeah, I've heard good things. I've got a few friends who live around the Washington area.
Keep right.
I think Seattle will be an interesting place to go. It reminds me a bit of Wellington in some respects. Just in terms of the harbour area. Just being kind of around the coast. Another viewpoint for the port. Port of Seattle. There's a big container ship. Yeah, if that's the sort of thing that's having to go under those bridges, then it's understandable why they're so tall. Got mentioned going up that staircase. These massive cranes. It's multiple times the size of Auckland's port. Few trailers scattered around that I'd be able to pick up for delivery. And you get to see the skyline again. Nice. Can I pop over to this bit over there where it hasn't discovered it for me? Do a little bit of free roam. Yes, there we go. Now it's gold. Good. Now we're just going to zoom down to the end and pop around. And head north. heading out. Crunch. Not quite sure what I even hit there, but whatever. Visit service, apparently. I don't think I'd done that much damage to myself. Apparently I have 20%. See, sometimes you just, like, nick something and it does 10% damage to you. Because I know I crunched into that bridge way back, but that was only enough to get me up to 10%. It seems that little nudge there got me up to 20%. It's really bizarre. I do sometimes wish that you could turn the damage off in the game. Sure, it would make it a little bit more arcadey, but at the same time, is that really a bad thing? Just gonna pop down to the services off to the right down here.
Go straight.
See you, Profound. Getting ready to start learning that hundo run tonight. Good luck. And yeah, just have some notes and just read from them and just, yeah. There's nothing wrong with just stopping and just hitting escape, reading your notes, catching up on where you are. The important thing is to get it done, and taking a couple of extra minutes during the run can save you 10 minutes at the end if you have to go back and pick up on something. Yeah, it'd be good to see some more names on the board. Second place should be pretty much free if you just do a little bit of practice on the run on how it is now, because my time is really old and really rough and not particularly optimized, and not taking advantage of a ton of new strategies.
And then turn right.
But I just have not had the mental wherewithal to...
And then keep left.
Left, okay. To get back into it. Is there a difference in places damaged like bumper versus drive shaft? Theoretically, like in the actual service, on this damage display it's just a flat percentage. In the actual services it's broken down by engine, chassis, transmission I think, and stuff like that. But where you get hit doesn't seem to really correlate very well. It's pretty rough.
Left.
Like if something just nicks your side, you shouldn't take engine or transmission damage or anything, but they have a very lazy mechanic of once you get over about 10% truck damage, you'll just sporadically suffer engine malfunctions and your engine will just switch off and struggle to start again. And that happens regardless of what has been damaged, it seems. It's a bit lazy. It's to discourage you hitting into things, obviously. They haven't put a huge amount of specific attention into making it better. I imagine there's probably mods that disable it entirely. For playing casually, I should probably actually use those. But it's good habits for speedrun to not take too much damage. Because if you do take too much damage, then you lose your higher gears. Like, for a 12-speed gearbox, you lose 12th, and that means your top speed is severely limited.
Turn right.
And just having the engine malfunctions occur
Turn right.
just means that you lose a lot of top speed when you're travelling along, so you definitely want to minimise the amount of damage you take. It's one of the kind of skill elements of it. Have a good one. Good luck. Yeah, because you should be able to just take like a small bump of damage on your just cosmetic damage, and it shouldn't really affect your performance. Oh, I was supposed to keep left. Never mind. Thought I was being smart there. That is just to go down to the airport, looks like. Oh, actually, that's just another one of those intersections that you don't actually go anywhere with, it just goes down. Why did they bother then? Who knows?
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep left.
New viewpoints! We are really knocking them out. Hey, that's cool. Some fuselage on the back of a train.
Never mind. I'll find a new route. Get ready to turn right.
That's just funny. They keep in Everett's never-ending construction. Everywhere is always under construction. It's something that's just a constant. Everywhere that I have ever been on holiday, for trips, every big city, and even small city, everything is always under construction. Auckland's downtown is a never-ending construction site, it seems. When we went over to Melbourne, there was so much stuff that was being constructed. Over in London, you look out over the skyline from the Tower Bridge, and it's just so many cranes and everything, cranes and scaffolding. Oh, it's the Boeing plant. That makes sense then. Though the fuselage was going to it. I guess they don't get assembled here necessarily. They don't get constructed, they get assembled. But yeah. That's kind of cool. I forgot that Boeing was based in Seattle. Yeah. Makes sense. That's kind of a nice touch.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Go underneath the taxiway. And over the side. I'm sure eventually I'll get a job to go to the airport, so I'll come back this way
Keep
and
left.
discover those bits of road. And if not, oh well. They made the handling really understeery, which kind of makes sense, but
Keep right.
not
and then
nearly as
exit right.
immediate as I would like. Oh, we're going off
Exit
right. Okay.
Turn left.
I guess I'll wait my turn then. I keep wanting to see Everett as Everest. Be the first person to climb Mount Everett.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Is the state thing, the 529 there, is that Washington's head? Because usually they're the shape of the state, aren't they? But they've just made it the shape of Washington, the individual, instead of the actual
Get
state.
ready to turn left.
That's funny. Yes, it
Turn
is
left.
brilliant. Oh, I love it. Because yeah, most of them are usually the shape of the actual like geography of the state. That's hilarious.
Keep right, and then turn right.
I mean, I guess the shape of Washington as a
Turn right.
geographical entity is very complicated because of all the harbours and shit, so much easier just to put a head decided by the state. Oh, Utah is a beehive. Yes, that's true. Yeah, the beehive state. That's right. I do remember seeing that driving through there. I've never thought of associating Utah with beehives before. It's kind of bizarre, but apparently. Apparently bees like rocky deserts. Everett Swing Bridge. Yeah. So is this one where it kind of goes sideways instead of up and down? I think I've seen a GIF of this online, or a little short video or something. Yeah, the whole thing like rotates. That's cool. It seems like that would be easier than making it lift up as well. I'm gonna have to stop for a rest at some point. There is a rest area around the next intersection. Or the way station in between. I've still got 2 hours before I have to actually stop though. Should be good. You can bypass the way station. Well, I'd hope so, because I'm not pulling a trailer. But I could pop into the rest area, but we'll hold off on that. If I could get all the way up to Bellingham, that would be good. That might take me longer than 2 hours. Reckons it'll take me 3, so... I wonder if I should not go down here? So yeah, I'm not going to go down here, because at some point I do want to take that crossing and do like Port Angeles across here. So I will end up going that way anyway at some stage. So let's just go straight on to Bellingham.
Let's do this.
And now it reckons it'll only take 35 minutes. So I can just go there and then rest. That works. And then we decide whether or not we continue or to take a short break at the very least. I mean, I could see whether or not there's a delivery that just goes from Bellingham to Port Angeles or something. Just to tick off that little bit.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep right, and then turn right.
Bellingham discovered.
Turn
Good.
right.
3 more to discover in Washington. For some reason I never got around to this part of the state. I think they either didn't have a community
Keep left,
event
then turn left.
when the state released, or if it did, it didn't involve having to go to every
left.
city. It might have only been a certain number.
This is where it ends.
Whereas more recently you've had to go to every single city. An international truck dealership. I might actually just turn around here and go around to the other side, where there is a fuel stop as well, and we'll rest over there. You can also turn off the fatigue simulator, but like I've got traffic fines turned off for convenience sake, but I like having the fatigue simulator kept on, simply because, actually I can go straight ahead here to go to the next part, can't I? Yeah. I like having the fatigue simulator on to give me a little bit of a management aspect that I have to worry about, so I have to be mindful of like stopping when I'm supposed to. It's sometimes a nuisance, but it's less of a nuisance than paying speeding fines. Washington University over there. Yes, we are open. I wish you could zoom out and have a further back view. Supreme Hardware Store, Buck's Fisherman's Paradise. I do like the attention to detail they put in just even a little small place like this. It's a nice mural over there. Very nice. Nice big park here. A sculpture or fountain or something. Very nice. Western Washington University is in Bellingham. There we go. That'll be what that was indicating then. See, it's a little attention to detail. Nice church there. Squeak. Leafy little suburbs along here. Nice classic car there going the other way. Just stop off at one of these houses and pull out my power washer real quick. And we're on the outskirts again, looks like. Is that the end of a runway, looks like, must be. Right, pull into the gas station. Wait our turn. I can't remember what key I bound. Oh, there we go. You can wind the window down. You can stick your head out the window without winding the window down. But this way you can get a little bit more realism. Oh, I can't actually go down that way? I thought for some reason that was turning into the petrol station. I guess we go down here then. But you can hear a lot more of the engine, obviously. Now, what was to wind it up again? That one. There we go. I need to rebind those. The key below is the one to wind it up, which makes no sense. Rest. Unfortunately, this means it's going to take us to the early hours of the morning again. So I'm just going to rest again. You can rest up to 3 times in a row. Unfortunately, you can't tune it. Like, there's a mandatory period that you have to rest, which would be nice. Which makes sense, but it would be nice if you could advance time in increments within that. It's like, okay, you've rested your mandatory period, but it would have been nice to get up at 6 instead of 1, or instead of having to sleep until 11. Hi guys. Right, can we get a job just down to Port Angeles or something? Just head back into Everett. Seattle, a boat. Port Angeles, there we go. Wood shavings. Oh, good, that's actually up in that place there. I was wanting to go there anyway. Cool, we'll do that.
Pedal to the metal,
and that'll be the end of the session. That actually works out really well.
Keep right. Keep right, and then turn right.
You can see what I mean by my AI drivers being what really brings in the cash. Just jumped up like a couple 100,000 while I slept for 12 hours or 16 hours. So the best thing you can do in the game once you get set up. It doesn't take long. Once you get to the is it level 5? I think level 5 you can get a $500,000 loan, and then using that you can buy like 3 trucks and hire AI drivers to run them. You need to upgrade your garage as well, I think.
Keep left.
But as soon as you get AI drivers starting to bring in some passive income, then you can take a few more liberties yourself. You don't need to feel like you have to be on a job all the time. You can just cruise around like this and explore. You can be a bit more careless.
Keep right, then exit right.
For those first 5 levels, you want to be driving carefully
Exit right.
and maximize your income. There's actually a speed run, which is to 1, get your first truck and trailer, which is pretty much get to level 5 and
Keep right.
buy
then turn
things.
right.
But there's another which is to get garage revenue of 100,000, and for that you want to get AI drivers set up and then just sleep until they get you the rest of the way. It's a bit cheesy, but could have made it a lower target so that it wouldn't be worth doing that, but then it would be too easy. So it's just a case of leave it where it is and just make it be a bit cheesy. Now, it was like 4 hours, I think, that the offer was still valid for this delivery, so we should get there with plenty of time. It's an hour 40, somewhat less since we're speeding. We get to go on a bit of the scenic highway, which is nice. Please no one come the other direction, thank you. There is a trick that we can use to despawn the traffic as well if we really need to, if I'm quick enough. I never really think to use it casually, but it's a godsend for in-game time speedruns. Over the creek. Oh, excuse me.
Turn left.
Oh, onto a dusty trail. This should be fun. Rally time! This is a terrible view. So when you got the trailer, it pulls the view out further, but when you don't have a trailer attached, it's way too close to the back of the truck. It'd be nice if there was a high follow camera instead of it being such a low follow camera. My controller is shaking like crazy with this. I wonder if I can just jump up and over there. I probably can, actually. Mistrick. I bet I could have just gone straight up that hill. Probably wouldn't want to with a trailer. But you never know. Or is that rock there to stop people doing that? No, I probably could have. This is a long way back. Now the interesting thing, so it took me like an hour and a half without hauling a trailer and speeding to get from Bellingham to here. Once I pick up the trailer, I'm just going to see how quick it would be to emergency warp back to the services, because that'll be so much easier than driving down here with the trailer attached. It's an exploit that can be useful in casual play as well as speedruns. Costs a little bit of money, takes a bit of in-game time, which, given that it's an urgent job, might not be advisable, but sometimes it's just worth it. The time you lose can be less than the time it would take otherwise. Because if it's taking me this long without a trailer, I'm going to be having to pick my way down here pretty carefully with one. Great view up from up here though. There is a viewpoint up here, I believe, so hopefully we get some good vistas once we're there. I also hope that it looks kind of at least half as good for on the stream that it does for me, because I know Twitch's encoding could be a bit shaky and the bitrate's not going to be as good as it should be. So hopefully it's not too grainy. I noticed that with some of the Icarus videos, like I recorded them at pretty high bitrate locally, and putting it up on YouTube, which is a higher bitrate even than what Twitch uses, it was looking pretty grainy and a bit shaky at points because it's trying to, there's like too much grass detail and foliage and stuff. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I'm guessing he's doing a fire break. Washington Timber Harvest Sites. Yeah, fire department. So they must be doing a fire break. That's a nice view. So those are the switchbacks that I was just coming up. It's like indoor. Where's the Ewoks at? Just as it started to fade. That's right. Big sawmill. Some sort of big mulching sort of machine. Could do with one of those. We've got a bunch of hedge offcuts to get rid of. Mulch them up and chuck them on the garden would be easier. Struggling up this bit. Just stay in a low gear if you need to, it's fine. Stop trying to go up to 8th.
Safe and sound.
Achievement unlocked, over the top. Apparently driving here is an achievement. Sweet. Port Angeles. So I reckon it'll take 4 hours 30.
You've got the contract, now go.
So I'm gonna pick it up from over there.
Go straight. Time to hit the road.
Attach. Right, so how long have I got? I've got 6 hours and 6 minutes. If I emergency warp, it'll take 2 hours to get to Bellingham. I've got to cross the ferry as well. Nah, it'll probably be better to just go down, just to drive down again. Because it would take, yeah, 2 hours just to hop across, and then I've got to drive down the road to get to that intersection again still. So, maybe not. I mean, we'll see. I mean, what's the time now? 2:16? If it takes us more than about 2.5 hours to get down there, so if it's anything beyond about 16:30, then we'll know that it would have been better just to service warp. But it'll probably be better just to drive. I wonder how long the ferry crossing takes. Hopefully not long. The trailer damage just cutting the corner. Oops. I wonder how much damage I'd take if I just cut the corner up here and just went straight down. I don't think I can because that stuff's in the way actually. There's probably some logs or something in the way. I could probably go down there, but let's not. That'd be a fun little Easter egg if they had like a Dukes of Hazzard style jump that you could just take. Down we go. But it's also fun driving these sorts of roads. I much prefer driving through a twisty section like this than just a big long straight stretch with nothing to do. This is the fun part of driving. In a game like this, at least. In real life, I'd be shitting myself. Melty, melty, melts. The fact that it says the speed limit is 60 is just absurd. No way in hell would you be doing 60 miles an hour down here. That's asking for trouble. Like, I feel that 30 is pushing it. He says going 50 without realizing. I wonder if for a... once Texas comes out as a speedrun, instead of doing from just Bellingham town down there, doing like a specific special delivery one. Use the save game editor to set up a delivery from that place somewhere down into Texas. I mean, real time you would probably end up just doing the warp. I'm just going to drive down here. Can I drive down here? Yes. I'll take the 1% of damage. That's fine. The trailer took no damage. I would struggle going up, at least with the trailer. Without, I probably could have, but going down, no brainer. But even RTA, I wonder if you'd actually end up saving time than just driving down this bit. You probably would. Unless you had to go left. If you had to come down here and then go left, then that would be different. Okay. Oh, there's an Armco there. Oops. Okay, I don't want that on 92 anymore. Let's just put cruise on 70 for now. So I've still got 4.5 hours, more than 4.5 hours. So what was my goal for getting to that intersection? Something like 16:30. It's going to be tight. It probably would have, and that was with cutting corners and going faster than I should have. It's going to be pretty tight. It was Bacon Creek. Bacon. Now I want bacon. Actually no, now that we're on the main road, it's not going to take us very long at all to get to the intersection, so we were right to just drive it. Whoops. Accidentally pressed pause instead of... I have page up set to do my cruise control increments. I accidentally hit pause instead. This is level on 70. I'm going to struggle to get to 70 anyway, probably, because this is a £40,000 job. But we can go scenic view and can see the river off the side there.
Keep right. Keep right, and then continue straight.
That was the idea. And even though that it will advance the real time, we're going to stop off that viewpoint. We'll chance it. If we're late, we're late. But I feel that it shouldn't have given me the job and directed me to take the ferry if it was going to take too long. If it takes more than an hour to just cross that little bit, I'll be surprised. So, who knows? Yeah, we're pretty much being forced to do the speed limit just because our trailer's so heavy going along this bit. Oh, this is cool. Here's the viewpoint. It's a understandable place for a viewpoint, that's for sure. Deception Pass. Yeah. I feel I saw news recently of a truck kind of almost going over the bridge on one of these things because of really strong winds. I'm sure that was Deception Pass. Maybe it wasn't. Might have been somewhere in Oregon instead, but I have a feeling that rings a bell. The barriers are not high on these bridges, but it did manage to stop the semi from tipping over, at least. And they make it so screenshotable. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it pretty damn good? Absolutely. Nice. Wait for that truck to go first. Thankfully, they don't have any wind simulation. Nice. We'll leave it on that. Trucks use low gear. We are descending now, apparently. We'll just turn cruise off so it's not accelerating me, at least. Back down to sea level. Imagine if instead of having like a ferry service across, they had some sort of massive cable car that you could hitch a truck underneath and it would just like carry you down. That would be pretty cool. Coopville Ferry Terminal. We actually have to drive on, looks like. They've got the lanes pegged out, but instead of having you stop in a lane, they make you actually drive on. Alright, 35 minutes, that's alright. $100.
Finding new route.
Nice. Achievement unlocked. Fairy tales. Apparently taking the ferry is an achievement. Cool. Ticking off a few.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Should make a separate save when I get to Port Angeles and set myself up to do the Port Angeles to Oxnard speedrun again. Maybe I should have made it Bellingham to Oxnard instead. I don't know. I think I'm still the only person to have done a run, so I probably could just change it and obsolete it. It wouldn't really matter. It was mostly just about having something going down the coast.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
But it was also about taking the coastal road as much as possible, and if we went from Bellingham, then it would be too tempting to take the 101 south. But wanted it specifically taking the 101 west out of Port Angeles. Yep, I know, they expect it soon. I'm not far away. When do they expect it? Within 2 hours, right? But it's only 27 minutes away now. The world's most happy cattle, apparently. Good for them. I can see the port. I assume that's where I'm going.
Go straight. Go straight.
Marine Drive. I don't remember which services it was that the speedrun leaves from. I assume the southern one, or the westernmost one. Almost there. So all of those logs waiting to be loaded on over there. And we are adding to them. Well, technically we're doing wood shavings, which I guess are going to get turned into paper. There's a big thing of that over there as well. I'll be joining that pile soon.
Get ready to turn left.
There's a big silo over there for something else.
Turn left. We're here. Right on time.
There we are. Bit of a tricky angle getting in there. Can someone move that forklift for me, please? Swing this around. And now we gotta miss that other truck. There we go. Perfect. First try. Nice. Job done. Excellent. Urgent delivery bonus. All good. Nice. Oh, and we've ended up in Port Angeles. Managed to tick off a few of the viewpoints up the coast. So the next thing to do is to head through to Omak, Colville, and somehow get around to Grand Coulee. That's a really annoying one. Is there seriously no road that goes from there up to the 97? I'm guessing there's probably mountains through here, so probably not. Interesting to look on a map. I guess if we go here first and then around to Colville and then back, don't know. We'll just Omak, Colville, and then loop around. We'll see what we can find. There's also other little spots. There's probably an agency down there. I think there's other viewpoints around as well. There's probably one. Actually, no, that's just a recruitment agency, I think. But that'll be one. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's Mount St. Helens. Up near Vancouver? Yeah, maybe. A few more things to do next time.